Hello guys, I do believe that all of you are well and welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. As usual, this is our time with you. Now, most of you know, I don't know whether most of you understand this when it comes to business, that the business gurus will tell you that they know that a majority of those consumers who come to buy their property or commodities have an idea of what they're coming for or they're going for. And no wonder, whenever you buy a commodity, on that receipt, it is written, once sold, cannot be returned. Such are dynamics in business. Now, what about when it comes to dating? We also have the dynamics in dating. And some of these dynamics, Benjamin has told you very well, and I do believe that you still remember them and you are practicing them. What are the rules that you ought to follow as a lady when you are just about to marry that young man? Do you know some? If you know some, good. If you don't know, then this show is right here just for you. And that is why today we are going to talk about that with one Benjamin Zulu Show. Hi, Benjamin.
Hey, and you know, I'm burning, man.
Yes.
Because we are talking about when you need to marry a person who's younger than you.
Yes.
If we are in the West, this would not be a topic.
Mm-hmm.
But some topics are only relevant
in Africa.
And I will tell you why. Because of interference by family.
Yeah.
This topic is only important. Try to help people how to withstand the foolishness, the meddling, the nosiness, the gossip. We just didn't want to, we were looking for a decent topic. If we were to call it what we are thinking.
We have really measured and
yeah. Would have said how to overcome family pathology as you try to get married. Because the real issue here is, why is this important? If I love the person, if I found my soulmate, he is 2 years younger than me, 3 years younger than me, society said it is taboo.
Mm-hmm.
Brahma, let me tell you something, and I want you to go and experiment. Start lying to people about your age. Make yourself younger 3 years. Majority will never know whether you're telling the truth.
But that is true.
Just do an experiment.
Yeah.
Make it a joke. Reduce 3-4 years and keep quiet. You see whether there's anything to it. We give years too much importance.
Mm-hmm.
We give years too much importance. Let me tell you the truth. You're supposed to know that. Let's start here. Looking for a wife, looking for a soulmate is the most gruesome journey. It's the hardest thing to search.
Yes.
It's easier to search for a car because you have the money. It's easier to search for gold because you have the money. Better to look for a plot, the money. Better to buy anything else.
You have the money.
This human being you are looking, the money is your character, is your acceptance, is whether they like you. It's like offering yourself to so many people. Do you like me? No, sorry. Do you like me? No, sorry. Do you like me? No, sorry. Do you want me? Keep going. I'm here. I don't want you. Please, let's talk. Shut up. Get out.
Yes.
By the time you find a person who wants to mesh their life with you, who wants to merge, become your soulmate, wake up to you, it's easy to find people to sleep with you. The harder part is find a person to wake up with you every day, to grow with you. By the time, Brahma, you arrive to a point where this woman, you talk so well, you flow, it's stories after joke, anticipate each other's thoughts, you can see their vision, you encourage each other. When you are down, they cheer you up. By the time you get there, you have suffered rebuffs, rejections, patience, waiting, discouragement. There's some prayers we pray in order to cry. Hi? Brother, let me give you secrets on how to cry without appearing funny. Just go to prayer. And be happy God does not tell people what you say.
Yeah.
There's some things I'm happy about God, and He does not report even to what I said. Or that I actually said nothing, I just cried. You vented. You had to go to places. By the time you come to find a person who you can do life with, it's been a grueling journey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, once you arrive here, it should be okay now.
Mm-hmm.
This lady could be 3 years older than you. This guy is 3 years younger than you. When I say young, I don't mean 15 years, 20 years. I'm talking about reasonably within, so that you are at the same place in life. Mm-hmm. Let's emphasize that. You need to be at the same seasons in life so that you can build together.
Yeah.
You marry a person who's 20 years apart, they are in another season in life. Maybe they are at the noon of their life. You are mid-morning. They are 12 noon, you are 10, you are doing different things in life. That's why I told ladies who are 20-something to stop marrying men who are 40-something. Because she is starting, himself is consolidating. All right? Maybe he's starting is decent. There's some place in life where everything in your life begins to, it requires now delicate maintenance. New cars don't need too much maintenance, but old ones have funny noises in funny places. Too much diagnosis. All right? So we are saying, it's after so much searching and trying and hoping and praying that you found a person at your rhyme, at where you are. Once you find that person, the rest should be easy in a healthy society.
Yeah.
All right. If your father and I told you the reason we give too much age is if you don't tell your parents that the girl is older than you, they can't tell. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell women if they live right, they don't wear down easily? What wears us down is how we live. Is the recklessness, the stressful life, the drunkenness, abusing your body with alcohol, or reckless sex, or children here, pregnancy there, abortion here. Our bodies are maintained. If you live right, I told you about our queen there in England, 93 years old, healthy, not using any stick to walk. Why are you 70-year-olds here using sticks? It's the way you live. It's the way you live. The lifestyle you adopt, you can be at 35 and people keep calling you 29.
Yeah.
We're not saying you deny your age, but you're saying, in fact, your father could be fighting it, your mother could be fighting it because you disclosed too much. So today we are discussing family interference. The one thing they interfere with is age, and what I want to focus today. But the other thing they interfere with is tribe. It's so shameful. We have to discuss a black person against another black person.
Yeah. Quite unfortunate.
Over there in the West is the white against the black. In another community, find that is this versus the other one. Our skin differences are only skin deep. Understand that? Inside we are still human. We are the same. So today we are discussing what if your parents what if your family takes a hard line?
Yeah.
Okay, the other women are saying, I can't marry a younger, continue searching and leaving soulmates because of 2-year difference, 3-year difference, and I wish you luck. There are women who swear by their grandmothers, that they can never marry a younger man. And if the younger man had not said the accurate age, he should not have known. Bramwell, I tell you the truth, there is no way of looking at me and knowing I am 34.5. Yeah. Can you tell?
No.
And let me also remind you, you were not there when you were born. People told you and they could have also lied.
Yes.
You arrived, but you were not aware of what was going on. You told and you believed what you were told. Okay? Those who say they don't believe anything not scientific, you are not there when you were born, my friend. And you still believe what they told you. What if somebody does not really recall well? There are many people in Africa today also don't have accurate date of their birth. They were not keeping records.
Yeah.
But we are saying, if it's a lady, you can leave a good man. You can meet a guy like Bramwell who is so put together and you're flowing so well, and then you keep telling him, you see, you're younger than me by 2 years.
Yes.
Bramwell, the day a person looks down upon you by age, disqualify them for good and go on with their life. You don't know a person who is dogmatic. By the time you find a person whom you rhyme, you think alike, you flow, you resonate, you can look at life together, you can make each other happy. Huh? Making you happy. Brahman never drop a woman who can make you
happy.
I know. Philosophers told you it's your job to make yourself happy, but you can't crack jokes alone. And we will take you to Madare. You start cracking jokes and laughing alone, Bramwell. And although the motivational speakers told you to make yourself happy, don't take it literally, my brother. You need a person to crack jokes with. Don't take this too far.
Yes.
Don't take this too far. You can't crack jokes and you're laughing. Oh my God, I'm so funny. Happy joke. We will take you to Madare Hospital. So you're a special person, Bramwell, and we all like saying, I'm unique and all that. Let me remind you that uniqueness and specialness also means only unique, special people can resonate with you. Yes. That means once you find those people, they are sparsely distributed all over. You have to interact with so many population to find that one. So if there's a lady, you can be so dogmatic and narrow-minded to drop a potential soulmate because of 2 years difference. I pity you. Continue searching. And you will come back when you are 63. Imagine I'm being lucky. When you are young, you are very proud. You think you have a lot of time.
Yes.
Youth gives you illusion of immortality. A belief that you are, the life is in front of me. Mm-hmm. Life moves slowly but surely. Yeah. Slowly but surely. Like the clock, slowly but surely. So we are saying, if you are your own obstacle, that is in your head, beliefs that have no solid ground at all. And I keep reminding you, Brahma, check today, couples who have been married 20 years, until they tell you their age, you can't tell. Mm. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah. Even without them telling you who is older than the other. If they start by asking you, guess our age, you get it wrong. Number two, guess who is older, you get it wrong. Mm. Most couples, you can't tell. People keep saying, childbirth will make you grow older. It's how you take care of yourself. And are you getting 17 children? We no longer have that time to get 17 children. Don't convert your woman to a child generator. If you want to start a school, please just open a school and call it Brahma kindergarten. Don't convert your woman. She has a career. She's not a career mother. So, if she's just getting 2-3 kids, surely. If you take care of yourself, that is not supposed to wear you and destroy you. Now you can't even talk. People exaggerate the consequences. They exaggerate it too much. Yeah. So if it's upon you, if you are the one who is believing these self-sabotaging things, you have to drop them. But if it is your family, let me tell you the solution, Brahman. And I want to start by warning you that you need to analyze the character of your parents. Not everybody who got a child has honor. Some people became parents without the character of a leader, without the honor, self-respect to lead a child. I want you to swallow that, because Africa, we worship the position of your parent. Yeah. We worship that position. Hey, parent was as you worship me. It's okay, it's okay. That will say they shall honor. Children obey your parents. All of us should honor our parents. But let's remember, being a parent is not a statement of character. It could just be a statement of biology. Okay. Becoming a parent has no character. You don't need to be an honest person to give birth. Yeah. You can give birth because your biology is okay. No, I'm sorry if I sound savage, but let me tell you the ground rules. People don't become parents because they are well behaved. Yeah. Some are not even looking for a child. They're trying to relieve themselves. Guy, stop worshipping empty things. Can you look at the substance? Some people are parents, but no character of a leader. They can't lead a child, mentor a child, honor a child. They don't even respect themselves. If you... Okay. Let me walk you to there. You need to analyze the parents you're dealing with. Check how much they respect themselves. Mm-hmm. And how much of their guidance can help you. There are parents who have projected their frustrations at life to the children by controlling every decision. You finish university and they hold you at home. They hold you hostage. You can't even leave to go and build your life, hustle your life. They keep treating you like you're a child. You can't even do anything. How many cases am I handling daily of people are being held hostage at home? They want to respect here, but they know they're being delayed. They're being mistreated, discouraged, held back, but they don't want to be disrespectful. They even threaten you to curse and disown you. Yeah. Let me tell you the solution. Whether it's because you are marrying the wrong tribe, whether it's because you want to leave home and go start your work, whether because you are marrying a girl they think is older than you, whether because whatever decision you want to make and you have age at this point, do what Moses did. Mm-hmm. Moses was brought up by parents. He was adopted parents. He was very respectful too. But it reached a point he had to identify with his destiny and respectfully walk out of Pharaoh's home, king's home. All right? There comes a time to respectfully walk out, but firmly. You don't have to enter in an exchange with the parent. Once you realize they are not reasonable, once you realize they are too domineering, and many of them are sincere, but they are sincerely wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah. Some of them are hidden in church. They use the Bible to rule over you. The same Bible said you should not provoke your children to anger, but they keep quoting the word children should obey. You're not a child. Once you become independent, 18, 20 something, you are an adult. You only honor. To honor is to acknowledge the position of, but does not mean I follow your guidance, your advice every day. So if they are opposing who you want to marry, if they are opposing the life you want to start, remind yourself the following: they are projecting their own pathology on you. You are not the problem; they are the problem. Some people are self-respecting, they have children, and they advise and create friendship, but they don't impose, dictate, and control. But the others who are not self-respecting, they don't know boundaries, they're all over your case, they're into your bedroom to check this, they're into your affairs, they're into controlling, dictating, demanding money. Some hold you home to milk you from your money. Yeah. Some parents never organize their retirement. They think you are the retirement. They impose conditions on you. They do not educate their children. They want you to cooperate with them to educate other children. Some things have been normalized in Africa, but they are pathological. A child should not start paying fees for other children whose they do not get. You do not educate your siblings. You are supposed to use your first income to grow financially, to build your economical base. The children in Africa have a decided disadvantage against their counterparts elsewhere in the first world because parents failed and we have to compensate for their failure, and it is meant to look like our duty and our God called destiny, yet it is their failure they are masquerading. You should only get wow. Brother, there's a pinch of pain when you're getting money and you have to send it back home when you don't have your own home yet. When other kids are starting and advancing. When shall we compete with the Zuckerbergs of this world? When shall we compete with the guys who are innovating and building if every coin we have is demanded at home? We are not saying we can't help, but we're not saying we should not do it. Sometimes you have to correct mistakes that you are not the one who committed them. But you should also learn the lesson and stop the pattern. So me and you, Bramel, we are the incoming parents. We are the next generation. We soon shall be parents. I want to charge us to get only as many children as we can take care of. Only as many children as we can give starting capital in life, instead of becoming a burden in their life when they're starting life. All right? Yeah. Poverty is perpetuated when children grow with debts and deficits instead of inheritance. The Bible says a good man gives inheritance to children and the grandchildren. When your grandchild is born, come with a gift. Today, if you want to do a wedding, you pay fair for your own pet. Transporting your pet. Imagine. The African culture and the Bible, it was the man to pay bride price for his son to get a wife. Today it is reversed. You want to marry and your own mother has never been, it has never been paid. You have to pay bride price for your mother before you, what is this?
When I say these things,
So these things are not normal. They are failure. They are incorrect. It's immoral. It's unfair. We perpetuate poverty because of these family interferences and traditions of poverty that are made to look pseudo-religious, God-given duty. No. Get the number of children, and government has done its work. You can get, they educate, they give you the facility to get the children you want at no fee. So listen, we are saying once you realize your family is difficult, acknowledge that you're not the problem, they are the problem. Yeah. We don't say you will always be correct, but once it reaches a point to individuate, you do what Moses did in Hebrews 11:24. When he became of age, he chose to identify with the children of Israel rather than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a moment, the pleasures of luxury, the pleasures of trying to cooperate with the people who are not related to your destiny. Sometimes your parents gave you birth to you and you are happy of how they brought you up, but if you submit to a faulty authority, you will be crushed. There are people who reached mid-30s, 40s, never married because they obeyed their parents too much and their parents were misleading them and complicating their lives and placing unreasonable demands on their life. So if your parents are dead stuck against you marrying a woman because she's older than you, marrying a guy because he's younger than you, this is what you shall do. Acknowledge that, number one, it's not your problem, they are projecting their own insecurities on you. Number two, if you follow your parents' advice exactly, you can finish as a good student. You will end up where they are. Yeah. Remember that. Yeah. Sometimes when people try to advise you, check what that wisdom has done to them. quietly. Remember not to take criticism from people you not take advice from.
Yeah.
All right? For a person to qualify to advise you against something, they should be qualified to know whether it works.
Yeah.
If you're operating on this level, respect your parents, but acknowledge their limitations on what they cannot advise on. They hate a certain tribe. They can't style Mijikenda. Because in their day, they were marrying from the village. Today, we are in the universal world. In the university, we are connected globally. You meet with a lady online and you realize you think alike so much. By the time you come to realize she comes from Tanzania. You see?
Yeah.
So, number one is you acknowledge they're projecting on you their own insecurities and problems. Number two, check whether they qualify to advise against this by their own light. All right? Okay. Number three, be firm on marrying whom you want and use the following techniques. Use the following techniques to deal with the difficult family. Number one, involve them peripheral. Don't put major decisions in their hands. You will be delayed and you will be complicated.
Yeah.
There's an uncle, an auntie, a pastor, a person you know who is on your side. There's always somebody, brother.
Yeah.
Remember the promise of the good book that no temptation that will come to you except such is common to people. And even in the temptation, you will provide a way. Instead of you getting frustrated and doing this and running away, look around. Who else is in a position of authority? Not my parent, but they can influence things. Bring them on board. Are we together? Get that priest, get that auntie, get that lady who is also an adult and who says, I think we should allow these children to just do it for now and then we will guide them as they go on. You know, there's, okay, get a person in the mix who is for it. Number two, use, I wanted to use a word you're uncomfortable with. I have to measure my words when I talk to Christian brothers. Very polite. The word I wanted to use is deceptive diplomacy, but I know you are comfortable with the deception. So let me. When you study the Bible, when you study the history of war and the negotiations, you realize when you realize a person cannot handle truth, you can conceal it for their sake. All right. So when you realize your parent can't wrap their mind around the idea of Brahman marrying from Cumberland. And you found Mwekali and is your soulmate. You know I want Mwekali. But my parent, I don't know, maybe your father has bad history with. Sometimes it's what they remember in their own experience. Or they can count 20 people in the village you try to marry from where you marry from. They're supposed to advise and let you to make decisions. But many of them go too far to obscure you, to try and sabotage you, try and reduce you. So, number one, get a person who can influence the process and to get it going somehow. Okay?
Yes.
Make the introductions happen with all the objections, but the auntie is there. All right? You brought the uncle there. You brought a positive influencer. Don't try to argue with your parent. Be wise. Look for a person. Now, this requires a lot of thinking. Yeah. All right? A person who can get... and remember, the law does not require your mother and father to be there for you to marry. You can marry without them there. Keep that at the back of your mind. The law requires 2 witnesses and they don't have to be your relatives. Okay? Brother, you can go to Rwanda and marry there and you don't know anybody else there. You just know your girlfriend. Then you get a friend and another one. They sign as witnesses. The certificate is sealed. Yes. The marriage is valid. Please. The parents will say, here in my home, I cannot agree certain community to be brought here. I'm not bringing it to your home. I'm taking it to mine. Please, can we correct our language for a moment? This is your compound. I have mine. And I told you to be careful when you know your parent. Don't build in the compound if there's too much interference, man. If they are peaceful people, okay, can build. But many times I encourage, give your woman a small territory where she can grow her own chicken without the chicken fighting with your mother's chicken. And now there's a case about chicken. Brother, you don't want petty cases about which chicken, which one, pecking order, pecking. As the chicken peck, the women are pecking. Now you have to come control the pecking, negotiate pecking. No, please, brother. You have better battles to fight. You have shows to do. Now, shall we postpone shows because Brabel is attending a case about chicken pecking. And the owners of the chicken then started pecking. So try to find, my father always used to say, distance brings respect. You need a safe distance so that you have your own security and a safe space to walk around. You know, if it's open, your woman can't walk around wearing shorts or being free in her own home. She has to dress proper and she's in her own home, man. Not a place where your mother can pop in, attend, just pop in. You know, no. You have to create a wisdom, all right? Yeah. So what I'm calling diplomacy. But it's not the direct diplomacy. It's a diplomacy where you act cooperative to buy time and get things done and vanish out of sight. You want a wife. You are not here to conduct political campaigns. Your aim is the goal. So what you do is, this diplomacy means you are acting like you are agreeing. You get where they're coming from. Yeah. You understand. So you don't antagonize now. You act like you are, yeah, I get, by the way, yeah, I think I get to a point. Yeah, you have to use a lot of understanding. Diplomacy is where you try to get another person's end and try to find middle ground. You listen to them. Now, you mix with indirect bribes. Spoil your father with what he likes. If he likes meat, come with a huge one. In fact, you can roast a whole goat. If he likes meat, come with a whole goat. If he likes beer, bring the beer. You are not the one drinking. Let me tell you. Jacob did something that looked deceptive, and God approved it.
Yes.
He lied to the father that he was Esau.
Yes.
And he was blessed, and the blessing worked. So I used deceptive, knowing it is there in the Bible, but you are not comfortable with it. I'm also using deceptive in diplomacy. He did something that looked conman.
Yeah.
But the blessing was approved. It actually worked. The father told him, I have blessed him, and he shall be blessed. Sometimes when you realize the person you are dealing with will never bless you, you might have to do something like getting a skin and try to put on a certain appearance of being cooperative, understanding, and peaceful. And do you know, even if a person was against you and you have more money than them, you can go home with a borrowed car and you walk around with them, spoil them, spoil all day. You are there with them, you are laughing. Somehow they begin to see you're not that person anyway. Brother, when it comes to diplomacy, you try to understand what the person likes and where they're coming from. Although you don't agree with them, you don't antagonize them because of their unique position in your life. As a mother, as a parent, all right? Let me remind you, some people are very narcissistic and they're envious that you are marrying happily. And they are your parent. People are pathological even when they have children. Let me remind you that. Yeah. There are people who have not matured, not grown, and because the only person they have authority over is you, they will torment you to hell. Okay? The Bible says we shall not provoke them to anger. But some people keep pushing you to the brink, pushing you to the despair, pushing you to the border, you know, harassing you. And because you can't talk back, they have automatic authority as a parent. All right? So the next thing you shall do is to organize to get things going. You are using other people, adults, who agree with your position, who know you should marry. You will always find a person who can see your sincerity, who can see what you mean, and they will be there with you. Try and now use that person. The next thing is, in the mix of it all, try to use diplomacy by giving them what they like and listening to them and understanding to keep the process going somehow. All right?
Yeah.
Now, finally, in the worst case scenario, there are people who take hard lines. They say, don't tell me, don't come here. Go, you're not my child anymore. Don't. Use Proverbs 26:2, that an undeserved curse will never settle. Use that verse and stand on it and be very firm. Go away with your woman. You can marry civil. You can first of all marry low-key. You can do it low-key on a Sunday after church. There's a couple here that wants to, I told you to always marry in a ceremony. To make sure your mind knows closure and opening of a new chapter. Yeah. If it comes to this, where your parents take hardline, they review, that boy is younger than you. Yeah, no. And it's only 2 years. Or at most 5 years. And they're saying, no. Go marry quietly, start life. Once you have moved 5 years, 10 years, you can now pick up from there, appearing in family functions, treating them. You know, if you send them money in the account, they will not return it. Keep treating your parents. People don't return money when you send it to them in the M-Pesa. They'll just enjoy it. So the person who look like they are bad, you use their phone to send. Their phone to send. Later on, let me tell you, if you mean well and you're sincere, there is no curse here, my friend. Remember, if you refuse that woman because they said that, you become bitter with the parents, you become resentful, and you become depressed and stressed. And I told you, when you are stressed, it's like you are living half death. There's a guy who was attacked by thieves and he was left half dead. When you are stressed, you're also half dead. You're not alive. You're not active. You're not creative. You're not in charge. You are not doing your stuff. You are existing on the receiving end. So there is no option. When a person refuses you to marry who you marry, they are declaring themselves to be your enemy. And agreeing with them will not bring you any peace. If you release the one you love, you remain with bitterness with the one who antagonized you, even if you are your father or your mother. So stick with the one you love and try to see how you can work out things down the line, but never release your soulmate. Yes.
Right. Thank you for that, Benjamin. I like the categories in which you've highlighted on how we need to deal with this kind of people. But now the million-dollar question here is, Benjamin, when does age become a concern, or should become a concern, to this lady who has met this guy, but truly to it, she's still being bothered about the age? When does it become a concern?
One, when it is too big so that you're not in the same place in life. You're not at the same phase in your journeys. For example, let's say the lady is 40 and the guy is 28. They may not be in the same place in their life. This lady might have been in the workplace for 10 years. The guy is just getting in.
Yeah.
This lady might have acquired assets, or she might have been a leader now, a manager. The guy is just trying to become an intern. Which conversations? Okay. So it should not be so big that you're not in the same place in life. Number two, the age is usually compensated by maturity. Some people matured so early that when you reason, you're flowing. I usually encourage ladies, let it not go beyond 5 years, as much as possible. If you're 35, she's 30, that's okay. I mean, he is 30. And I encourage not them to date guys who are below 30. Most men in Africa, socio-economically and mentally, they mature at 30.
30, yeah.
There's a few outliers, 10% or so, who might be ready 27, 28, and they mean it. These are the kids of 24, 26. And women like playing gamble with their life. Can you ask, when you meet the women on the road, ask them this question on my behalf.
Yeah.
Why are they gambling with their life? How do you sign for life with a 24-year-old boy who is still seeing skirts around? Don't play gamble with your life. You don't have two shots. You only have one shot. When it comes to marriage, except cases of death or somebody changed, it's extreme cases where you have to divorce and tear it apart. Try to do it only once. That's why it's a total disaster. And I'm handling cases every day. We started dating when I was 21, when I was 17, when I was 19. Now it's over 15 years. I realized we are not even compatible. And I ask them, were you suicidal? Why did you need a man at 19? What did you know about men, marriage, life, who you are, where you're going, the life you want? They tell me, our parents really did us injustice. They were even happy that you have secured a man. They were happy that at least you will get married. When I finish from university, they're happy I'm getting married. They're happy. Society misled them to think marriage is the ultimate. You need to marry when you know where you are going, so that you marry a person who is going where you are going. When you're 19, you don't know where you're going. And you can't tell the character of people. You can't read them accurately. You're throwing darts blindfolded. It's like you're picking the choices of life with your eyes closed. You don't know yourself. This is so simple. I don't know why we don't get it. The emotions are very strong when you're in the university, when you're 22, 23. The emotions are very strong. But emotions don't think, you have to think for them.
Right. Guys, there you have it. Emotions don't think, but you have to think for them. It is a matter of being intentional. It is a matter of being rational when it comes to dating. Thank you for tuning in to Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.